What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And here we go again with Matty Patty. Yeah, tough man, tough guy. Here's another instance right here. Now I'm taking you back when he was with the Clippers and they went up against OKC, and he decided to just out of nowhere shove Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka had to grab himself because he was going to lay out Matt Barnes. Blake was running over there to stop him because he was getting ready to drop Barnes. Matty Patty, once again, portraying the tough guy. Now, he goes in there, two-hand pushes him, right? Starts all this commotion. Taking up for his teammates, he claims. And he targeted Ibaka to try to prove he's a tough guy. You see, he did the same thing to Kwame Brown that he ended up doing with Serge Ibaka. It was the same play. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to this page. Hit the notification bell. And the like button is free. You can mash the like button all night long. And also, follow Kwame Brown at Kwame Brown Bust Life. Bust is B-U-S-T. You'll have no trouble finding it. And by all means, Matty Patty's been getting it because he's been doing things behind the scenes. The reason why he's been so quiet is because his movie's getting ready to come out and he didn't put most of his money into, and that's Meet the Blacks 2. The sequel, and he's over there with Hidden Empire Films. You know, he's a silent investor into this. Him, Snoop, and a lot of people vested in there. A lot of comedians in there. Cat Williams is in there playing a vampire. It's supposed to be like the comedy version of Fright Night. It looked like it's better than the first Meet the Blacks, just from the trailer. But this neither here nor there. Let's stay here. So that's why Matt's been real quiet and doing stuff behind the scenes, sabotaging, trying to mess up Kwame's page as far as his live streams when he's premiering, trying to mess with my stuff right now. So it's coming from a lot of different angles. Just yesterday, was some weird activity happening. And if you're on the Patreon, you already done saw some very explosive things about Matt. Just for people who didn't believe I had sources. You got to hear from the source, word for word. So the way I heard it is the way you heard it. Now, back to this situation. Matt Barnes was looking for a fight. He went in there looking to start a fight. And once he was tossed, he was immediately fined, right? The NBA fined him $25,000. And then another $25,000 because he threw his team under the bus after the game. Once the game was over, he felt the need to dump on his teammates. That's what Matty Patty did. Matt Barnes went on Twitter and said, "I love my teammates like family, but I'm done standing up for these niggas." Barnes wrote, All this it does is cost me money. He just not figuring that out. So, for Matty Patty, he got hit with some major fines because of that. And just like vintage Matty Patty fashion, he runs straight over to the apology button. And here he goes again. My poor choice of words and timing does not reflect the best of me. My poor choice of words and timing do not reflect who I am about. He said, it was very selfish on my part to make this situation about me instead of my teammates that fought their hearts out and earned a win against a tough OKC team. Now I could have taken the easy way out and said my Twitter was hacked. But that's not what I'm about. I accept full responsibility for all my inappropriate actions last night. I am truly sorry. No, he ain't. He ain't sorry at all. Matty Patty ain't sorry. He's never sorry. He's just mad he got caught or got fined. So he felt like, I gotta say something. So, here we are again with Matty Patty. Now, any other person or any other player or what have you, the situation is done. All right, nothing really happened. It's over. You go to your next town, you play your next team, everybody moves on. Whatever happened in that game, it's over. Pushing, shoving, no punches was thrown. Right? So, you would think it would be over. But not with Matty Patty. It wasn't. So Matt goes on Michelle Beadle's show, brings up this incident, and comes right up and says, me and Serge can fight now. If he was here, I just don't like him. Talking about he still want to fight Serge Ibaka. They would have to take 27 people to get Serge Ibaka's hand from one hand around your throat. Matty Patty, what you doing? Do the same thing you did with Kwame, challenging him to a fight you are never going to attend. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely weird. Weird man. I mean, I've never seen, he's somebody that's mostly fits the reality show. I think, because wasn't he on a reality show with his girl? That Gloria? They had like a cooking show and some other stuff. He was looking real goofy on there. Yeah. So he's kind of like into that life now of just falsifying things and keeping the media, everybody hanging on to statements. He's turned into like Joe Budden. So they know when the ratings is low how to create some controversy. I mean, Serge Ibaka still don't like this man. It is what it is. He still don't like this gentleman. Because Matt Barnes has definitely kept the thing going, trying to keep the attention span on him to make it keep coming back to Serge Ibaka. And he was like, dog, if you really want to do this, let's do it. Instead of talking about it, let's be about it. Because immediately after you went on national television, on a cable television network, right, and made it look like you can't stand him, you say you think this guy's a tough guy and all this stuff, right? That's what you said. You doubled down. Max Kellerman was on there and said, what about him that rubs you the wrong way? He said, oh, he's got that aura about him that he's the toughest guy on the planet. He's not, whether it's on the court or off the court. And he's just like, me and Serge, we could just fight right now if he was here. I just don't like him. So, when this was trending, Serge Ibaka immediately responded to you. He didn't turn down your challenge, did he? This is what Serge said. Serge Ibaka said, Dana White, UFC, are you interested? And he's laughing. Because it's a joke to him. Because he knows that you are a prankster. If you really wanted to mess with Serge Ibaka, come on, man, you know better. So he challenged you to the MMA. It was like, okay, let's get it done. Let's put it up. Let's get the fight going. He want to fight for real. Matty Patty just wants to talk. So all he did was post it. Like, this makes him tough. And then he puts it at the bottom of his IG. What did he say? Smile on my face, hands down, clean shot. Crickets. Here's what they don't show you. While Barnes is running off at the mouth, pretending to be a tough guy and all that, Serge Ibaka put his hands behind his back and told him, touch me. Hit me if you hit me. Do it. Hit me if you really believe it. Barnes is a drunk, alcoholic, pothead, and you think you finna mess with Serge Ibaka? Dude, he would have been still mopping the floor up with Matt Barnes. Somebody be like, man, somebody left a jacket over there in the corner. They'd be, no, that's Matt Barnes. He got balled up. Balled up for real. Hit the like button, man. They never show this photo though. You see what I'm saying? They never show you the real. They show you the one that make him look like a tough guy. They ain't show you when Ibaka got his hands behind his back and was like, do something. Do it. Yeah, he gonna run off at the mouth, but you ain't gonna do it. And he didn't do it. He knew better. And you remember the Rihanna post I told you about? We just did that video when Riri bust him out. When Riri came and bust him out, right? Serge Ibaka responded to that. See? This is what happens when you talk too much. See, Matty Patty? This is what happened when you run in your mouth. See? The real they ain't gotta prove nothing to you. They know if you cross that line, they gonna nail your ass to the cross. And you know not to cross the line. You're going to do all that woofing, but you ain't going to come across that line. All right, and let's drop the facade, right? Because there's a huge facade going on. And the huge facade is this. I listened to Captain Jack and I listened to Matt Barnes talk as if they were Kobe and that he was Klay Thompson or somebody. Matt, listen. Matt Barnes, I want to understand something. You weren't that damn good. Okay? And the reason you weren't that damn good is because you didn't take the game seriously enough. Okay? You BS'd way too much. You partied hard more. You partied harder than you did working hard on your craft in the game. Your NBA career was a joke, to be honest. It was a joke because you were a joke. Not to be cruel, to be factual. You didn't take the game seriously enough. So how could you sit there and come at Kwame like you were this serious guy? Every team you played for, the coaches hated your guts. And I mean all of them. Now you want to talk sources? Oh, I've talked to people, buddy. I've talked to people. And we could go down the chronological time order. Why you weren't with the Lakers so fast? Let's just go there. Everywhere he was, it was somebody else's fault. He was in Philly, you were mad at Mo Cheeks. Right? You was mad at Mo Cheeks. So when you was with Mo Cheeks, what happened? You was in Philly, you was unhappy. You wasn't getting the playing time. You know why? Because Mo Cheeks saw you and thought you was a bum. It's like, this dude ain't worth nothing. Then you wanted to fight Mo Cheeks. Why didn't you fight Mo Cheeks? Do you know Mo Cheeks would have whooped your ass? Mo Cheeks got a temper like this and would have ripped you to shreds. So you got mad at Mo Cheeks. Talking about, I didn't like the way he talked about me in practice. He always was talking about, man, you can't shoot. You can't do this. Man, you a brick. Man, I played him. You had a big career game against Mo Cheeks when you went to Golden State and played with some real ballers that they had to actually worry about. You hit like 7 threes and had that breakout game. You talking crap to Mo Cheeks, Mo on the sideline yelling back. It was a good game for you. You had your revenge. But that didn't go into anything else, did it, man? It didn't. All it did was lead to you having a problem everywhere you went. You went to the Grizzlies. Problems. You went to Sacramento Kings. Problems. Right? Everywhere you went, there were problems. And the person who was the problem was you. Now, to make it even more understanding to the layman, why were you a Laker? The Lakers didn't see you. Kobe called you and said the time when you did the ball fake and it looked like Kobe didn't blink and that whole thing, when you was coming at Kobe and trying to start something with Kobe, Kobe wanted you on the team because he thought this guy's tough. We need some people on this team that's tough. They were back-to-back world champions. back to back, been to 3 straight NBA finals. Kobe knows going back for the third one, we're going to need somebody that's going to be able to go to the grind with us. We need somebody that's going to battle with me. Instead, you got a guy that just fouls people who can't hit a shot. Mike Brown was the coach. Phil retired. I think Phil was gone at that time. And it was Mike Brown stepping in. I think Phil had left. So this might be after they lost. But I know Mike Brown came in, and he was the head coach. And when Matt got there, Kobe brought Matt in and everything else. Mike Brown didn't like you because he felt you was more suited coming off the bench and you wanted to start. I'm better than everybody in here. I'm cooking these guys. You wanted to start. And they were like, bruh, you ain't finna start, man. They tried that. They tried to let you start. And what happened? You sucked. So they put you on the bench. You started like 16 games. You sucked. They put you on the bench. That's what happened. Facts. Then, to move right along and keep everything current, and don't forget to like the page and subscribe. The Patreon is Carcino for Life. We got some more explosive stuff over there about Matt. And then, also, you want to donate to the page, the super chat button is working. I know you see it. Cash App is Carcino. And don't forget to also follow Kwame Brown Bus Life, my tag team partner. We got the tag team belts. Somebody said, what's y'all tag team name? Grown Man. Grown Man is coming to the ring. They got the belts. We got the belts. We just took the belts from the fraud champions. Matt and Steve. We got it by default. They didn't even show up to defend it. They tried. They tried to get the people to fight for them, and the people just turned around and said, wait a minute. Y'all phony. They getting it from all angles now. And it's messing up everything because the people don't believe it. Believe me. Into the toilet it goes. Now, Matty Patty. Let's stick to you. Because they got rid of you quick, fast, in a hurry. After you wasted their time and with the Lakers and you went and bounced over to the Clippers. Again. You was trash. So you was a trash player averaging what, about 10 points a game for the Clippers, if that. When they got Chris Paul, they got Blake, they got Lob City going on, they got all of this stuff going on. Then the Donald Sterling incident happened, right? And I don't remember you opening your mouth to say a damn thing. I don't remember you saying nothing about Don Sterling. And you were the Clipper. You let Chris Paul tell you what to say. You just followed Chris. You didn't even give a damn. You see? It's one thing about those mixed people. They get to switch. They get to run to the other side real quick. When it's something they don't want to be dealing with, they be like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not black enough to talk about this. I'm out. You was Italian that day, wasn't you, man? You Italiano. Now, moving right along. Did you know this man goes ahead and starts with Doc Rivers on the Clippers? Soon as he gets there, he gets into it with Doc Rivers because he sucks. It's like, dog, you suck, and you want to Doc came to him and checked him after they got blown out by Golden State. Now check it. This is Golden State's championship year. Matt act like this game was at the end of the season. This game was like probably the beginning of the year. Like I'm saying about the first 6-7 games of the season. So, of course, Blake and them didn't play well. You know, it's early in the season. Nobody really cares. It's not going to make or break you. But in the film room, Doc is coaching. He's telling Matt what he needs to be doing. And Matt Barnes only took 2 shots in the game. But he wasn't pointing out the fact that you took 2 shots. He was pointing out the fact that you was blowing plays. Like you blowing position. You supposed to be setting picks and being in a certain spot. That's what he was talking about. It had nothing to do with your shot selection. But you try to show up the coach. And then you got disrespectful, walked out. So Doc told you a thing or two. Because Doc hold all the cards at that time. Doc was president, general manager, and head coach. What Doc say go. Doc thought this guy's tough, Matt Barnes. I heard a lot about him. People say he's tough. Let me pick him up. Maybe he can give us some grit. All you did was run your mouth and stay in LA. That's all you wanted to do. Stay close to LA. Then I think the trade deadline came because Austin Rivers is going to punch you in the mouth. And you was talking, but you didn't do nothing to Austin Rivers, did you? Talking about Austin Rivers was scared, he's arrogant, he's a punk. You said all that about him once you was gone. You ain't say that to him when he was there. Austin showed you nothing but respect, dog. And behind this man's back, you was dogging him out. And you call that man arrogant. Because he was outplaying you. Austin Rivers is still in the league and you at home. So let this sink in, man. Listen. You can say what you want. This is all facts. Now, I'm quite sure you and Doc, explained it, but you wanted to try to fight Doc Rivers. And Austin was going to knock your teeth out. As you tried to put hands on Doc, and him and Doc weren't even 100% on the same page at that time. So Doc has a tough love philosophy, He loves all his kids, but he's more closer to Seth than he is Austin Rivers, his own son. That's facts. Doc is tough. Now, with that being said, you tried to sabotage your coach, start some fights with him. So everywhere you went, Matt, you had problems with coaches. Right? Then Golden State. He's finna finish out his career in Golden State. He returns back. This is the year you got the championship. I rooted for you, Matt. I was rooting for Golden State anyway. You know, I can't stand LeBron. So I definitely was rooting for Golden State. But I rooted for you too, Matt. I wanted Matt to win. I'm like, man, I want Matt to win. You know, get a championship before you go out. Let Matt get one, you know? Matt Barnes get one. Dude, I think you hit a 3 in that game. I'm like, look at that. Matt Barnes hit a 3 in the NBA Finals. Now, Matt Barnes is all broken up. He was unhealthy. He thought once he got back healthy, he was going to be back in rotation and to be able to play and get some minutes in. They didn't need him. They didn't need Matt Barnes to win. And Mike Brown was an assistant on the team. And Steve Kerr was hurt because they had the back surgery thing going on. So Steve Kerr was out. Mike Brown was coaching. And you already know from when he was with the Lakers, he don't like Matt Barnes. So Matt Barnes talking about he gonna get in the game. Hell no, you ain't getting in the game. Now you gotta deal with him. And the thing is, all these miracle practices that he talking about, I was cooking dudes in practice. Where? I have not heard any miraculous Matt Barnes stories in practice. Now I've heard Captain Jack give it to some people in practice. You know, but there are some people that really got down in practice that people don't even know about. People had a lot of good practices. And then when it came game time, they put up a donut. So maybe that's what you were. You was probably just a practice player. You know, good in practice. You know, when people trying to get better on their skill, you think this is the game. This is where I'm going to show I'm better. I swear, I watched Baron Davis, Captain Jack, and him sit up there on that show and talk as if they were 5-time NBA champions. I'm like, they didn't win nothing. Like, what is this team, this Golden State team they keep talking about? They were the ones to be the number ones, knocking the number one out. I'm like, that was cool. But they act like they got a championship for that. They got nothing. I think they were out in the second round. So it doesn't really mean anything. Y'all building a legacy of nothing. Hey, yeah, man, we beat the number one team. Then we celebrated and lost. It's like, wow. That's your history. So that's basically his NBA career, because they like to turn it to basketball so much. We decided to do it on a basketball perspective and talk about it, since they want to talk about basketball all the time. Do it on a basketball note. So this is where I leave it. So y'all have a great productive day. I will be giving you more videos today. More explosiveness is on the Patreon, the Carcino for Life Patreon for the VIPs. We even got more stuff coming for Maddie. I just wanted to tackle the basketball side because he loves to brag on that. You know, as if this is the reason that he has some success right now that's going on, because he was a basketball star. You know, I don't think he ever made an all-star game or even was in attendance, probably. That's my opinion. I don't really know that off the top of my head, but I believe it's so true. So, anyhow, this video has went long enough. So this is like 3 videos in one you got. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, Hit that notification bell. It's always important. Stay locked in because I don't want you guys to miss nothing when it happens. All right?